All right, we can move on to the AFC South here,
Let's do
starting
it.
with the Jaguars, in which Trevor Lawrence is a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, man, he is. And I kind of have been saying this to Titans fans since the end of last year. Go watch that. Like, I implore you, before you have a Trevor Lawrence ain't proved nothing yet. Like, first of all, quarterback, wins are not a quarterback stat. So, like, past success in terms of wins and losses, you can't really, like, he's a big player there, but that's not really 100% reflective on him. Go watch the plays he made in week 1 on Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. He had some bonkers passes. Moving, throwing across his body into crazy tight windows, making some plays that you're like, that's the kind of thing that you see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert do. Freaky stuff. He, in my opinion, is a top 5 passing talent in the league already. Has been since the back half of last season. And just as a quarterback as a whole, his all-around well-roundedness, I think he's a stud, man. I think he's a top 10 passer in the league already. If you think I'm crazy now, I would bet money that by the end of the year, you'll begrudgingly agree. You'll finally come around on it. I get it. You're maybe a little hard-headed on it, whatever. You're gonna be forced to admit it. Dude's good. Dude can ball. Sunshine is good at football. Like, he's just really, really good. And if you can't get after him, your pass rush and or cover his receivers, that pretty good. Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram, dudes were cooking some. Like, the Colts backfield, their DBs, very concerning this year. So, like, I don't think that's super reflective, but they were cooking some dudes and getting open a couple of times, like open, like college open was kind of gross at times. That kind of thing is going to happen against you if you can't cover those guys and or get after Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be a long day for you defensively when you face the Jaguars.
And then to that extent, with Trevor Lawrence being that top 10 quarterback, like you said, the Jaguars are clearly the best team in the AFC South.
Yeah, now you have to punt brakes. The Jaguars are not yet clearly the best team in the AFC South. They give this a 7.5 on the hot read heat index scale. Listen, the Jaguars are a very good offense. And I think what Trevor Lawrence and those weapons and Doug Peterson are going to be able to do this year, they're going to be in shootouts all year long. They're going to be running up the score all year long. But part of the reason they're going to have to be in shootouts all year long is because that defense is not good. It's not good. Their pass rush is really lacking, and their secondary, the spine of that defense has some serious holes. They got a guy or two on the outside at cornerback that are perfectly good at their job. But on the whole, the depth there is concerning, and I don't love what they have at safety. Their linebackers are just fine. They young with potential, so I'm not writing them off yet, but very much green and inexperience, and I don't trust them yet. And again, their pass rush, it's Josh Allen and a bunch of, you better hope Trayvon Walker works out. Maybe he does. He's a first overall pick. He's got the talent to do so. But so far, it's not been great what I've seen from him. I wasn't crazy impressed in week 1. Thought he was good. Thought if he can, if he's trending this way based on week 1, I'd say he'll be a serviceable guy. Maybe not living up to that first overall pick title. But yeah, on the whole, that defense is going to force them into a lot of shootouts this year. They are not yet the best team in the AFC South. They just played the Colts with a rookie quarterback who has 13 career starts since coming to college. He's very young. He's very raw. That team is missing maybe their best playmaker on offense and Jonathan Taylor. Like, there's 1,000 reasons why they should have won that game. They did win that game. Let's see them play the Chiefs this week. I think it may be really revealing one way or another what this team is really made of when they go up against that Chiefs team in week 2.
And then our final AFC South one before we get to the comments here. The Texans defense is good.
Yes, good take. I think it's hot because people aren't coming around to it yet. I'll give it like a 6.5, 7 on the hot read heat index, but it's a good 6 or 7. It's the correct take. I wholeheartedly believe this take. I am claiming this take as my own. I was saying before the season that I think one of my take purge takes was that the Texans would be a top 10 defense this year. If it wasn't, it was on my short list of things to talk about. They're good, man. Go watch that game against Baltimore. They held a Ravens offense that is new but has some serious talent. They held them in check all game long. They kept that offense, the Texans offense, which is limited, low ceiling in my opinion, a lot of new moving pieces, and a rookie quarterback. There's a lot there that needs help. And the defense, they did the helping. I thought that they were really, really tight. I thought they showed a lot of promise. That pass rush, Will Anderson looked as billed an NFL prospect coming out this year, I liked a lot of what I saw in that game, and I think that their defense is just going to get nastier as the season goes.
Yeah, and then we can get to the comments here where Logan Grady said, to your point about Lawrence, he says, however, Lawrence makes too many bad throws. Colts dropped 2 picks, and his wide receivers made some great plays. I will say his wide receivers really bailed him out this week, but I mean, every quarterback's going to have a couple bad throws, and like it's just how it is, you know?
Have you seen Josh Allen play football? Like, I don't think anybody's disagreeing that Josh Allen is one of the best passers in the league. He also makes some hairball decisions. Did you watch Josh Allen play football in his 3rd year? He made even more harebrained decisions. Like, Trevor Lawrence is still learning. He's still developing. He is not at the peak of his powers, which is what should scare you because he's already very, very good. And when he's not making bad throws, he's making flamethrower passes that just you're getting torched. There's nothing you can do. It is earth-bending stuff. Like, you don't stand a chance. He has those throws. For every bad throw he has a game-breaking throw in these games that he's played the past 6 or 7 games in a row. Dude can ball. Dude is good. Like, I agree that he makes some bad passes, but it's not the bad passes I'm worried about. It's the crazy game-breaking passes. And again, they're pretty 1-for-1 right now.
And then Dorito Lover comes in here and says, Calvin Ridley is by far the best receiver in this division.
Yeah, I give it a 6 on the hot read hit index. I don't agree that he's by far. Is he the best receiver in the division? I think so. Yeah, I love Calvin Ridley. I love him, watching him as a player. He's a stud. I would not argue that he is the best receiver in the division. But I do think that DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks are a somewhat close 2-3. DeAndre had, I think, he have 12 catches on 15 targets, something like that in this week's game, or double-digit targets. And
he had double-digit targets. He had 13 targets.
I don't know how many catches, 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah.
But he was the volume king that he's been. He was a walking, talking 3rd down conversion if only you could hit him. DeAndre Hopkins still has the goods. We know this. And then Treylon Burks, again, like what he did in this game, there was that burst of 3 Burks targets in a row in the game, and then you didn't see him the rest of the time. Watching the coaching tape, it was really, really encouraging. Like, dude was getting open. His lack of involvement in that game was not reflective on the game that he had, is what I will say. I think Treylon Burks is I still have faith in him proving himself one of the best receivers in the AFC South. So by far is a 1 step too far for me. But yeah, Calvin really is the best guy in this division.
And then finally, Logan says the Titans will be the only AFC South team above 500 by the end of the season, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, I'm out on this. I give it an 8. I mean, would it be crazy? No. Could I see it happening? Sure. Do I think it will happen? I really don't. The schedules for the Titans and the Jaguars simply have too many winnable games on them. The Jaguars have a too good of a coach quarterback weapons combo on offense to not win a lot of games. I think that both teams will win at least 9 games, and I don't see this being accurate.